recap, Manchester United 1, Brighton 3. Shocking performance. Only shot on target in 90 minutes was via a penalty from Bruno Fernandes, so not even from open play. Poor display. That's what we are.
Yeah, that's what we are, and we have to just take the pain. I think there are some easy solutions, and I say easy solutions, short-term fixes. We've done enough of that, papering over cracks, all that sort of stuff. This group of players, if you give them any excuse, if you start changing the system, all it will take is one good performance in a new system. They'll suddenly go, oh, why aren't we playing this system? And then the manager's in big trouble.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Can't be doing that.
And to be fair, no one's even come out of here suggesting any of that.
To be fair, there were a few inside that
really saying
change it. But we've done that. We've done that so many times. It doesn't work. It just takes the manager's power away, puts it back in the hands of the players. And the players have run the club for 10 years. It's not always been the same players, as people keep pointing out. But we can't be doing that. We've got to just take the pain and accept the win. But wish it.
Yeah. I know it's going to sound like a crazy question, but what would you put it down to today? I mean, losing the game after 4 minutes, whatever that was, 3 minutes. Managed to calm down and get ourselves back into the game at 1-1, get in at half-time at 1-1. You're thinking, okay, this is... I said to Owen at half-time, I said, this seems like a pretty even game, actually. This could go either way. But if you was a betting man, you just feel like if one team was going to up it, it would be them. And just to come out, you get a lifeline from a disallowed goal. Maybe that will kick you into action. 5 minutes after that, ball's in the back of the net. 5 minutes after that, ball's in the back of the net again from Onana. The game's just over.
Well, the thing is, we're not good at anything as a team. They're good technically. They may not be the best physically. They're not going to run all over you, do all that sort of stuff. Maybe they're a bit fitter than us, but not that much. But technically, they're just miles better. And I think what you saw from United today, right from the start, was a team that I'm hoping we don't get shit on again.
Yeah, we probably will. I'm expecting right now. There's loads of seagulls here. Literally.
Too many.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see it's one of those games where we've not had much training time. We've prepared for some of the things they're going to do, but it just hasn't gone quick enough. We haven't been able to react quick enough in the moment and deal with it. Like that first goal from Brighton, obviously everyone's picked out Mazraoui switching off. But also, the other thing to look at is the Maguire-Dalot gap. So Euro had stepped up, I think, to follow João Pedro into midfield. And then Maguire and Dalot had stayed really far apart because Dalot got pinned, but I think the fullback had stepped up, and Minter came into that gap between them, and neither of them really wanted to go and mark him. It might have been Welbeck, whoever it was in that gap in between, and that was the one that ended up scoring in the end when the cross was played across. So yeah, Mazraoui messed up, but it was also another miscommunication and mistake inside. But I think those sorts of things are actually quite difficult because it's split-second decisions, and Euro's followed the guy in as he's probably been told to do, and the lad who's ended up scoring is stood in the exact spot between Dalot and Maguire where neither of them are really sure.
Yeah.
And it's just when you're lacking confidence, those decisions go against you. You make the wrong thing or you hesitate that little second, and that's what kills you. And it looks like that's what's happening everywhere. I think with the ball as well, it's the same thing. Hesitation. Players aren't brave enough to just fizz a ball between the lines because they don't trust the next guy.
There's so many passes that aren't going between lines. Everything's... As soon as we may have to pass it between the lines, it's nope, come back, come across, get to your opposite full wing back. Nope, okay, come back, go to the opposite wing back. And we're just doing that a lot. There's no penetrative passes to line-breaking passes to get the other team on the back foot at all.
Spot on. And you see when Brighton were doing it as well, they were sometimes sort of playing the ball around the back, a few passes side to side, but because they actually have some threat of if they play through the middle, you're in trouble. They'll go inside then out, or inside through the middle then forward again, and someone's through. We have to defend narrow, which means when the ball does eventually go wide, they've got a bit more space. Whereas against us, we're just going to pass in that big U shape around the back, around the back, around the back.
The big U shape.
Yeah, just all the way around.
Yeah.
And because of that, because teams know we're not going to play through the middle of them, they don't have to defend narrow, they can defend wider, which means by the time the ball, even if Maguire hits a big switch out to Dalot or Mazraoui, the defender's just far off him, because they don't have to defend narrow.
Every team is so comfortable going 1v1 against us, saying, don't worry, we'll either win that duel or we'll overrun them by creating overloads. And even the first half as well, Minter was coming in the inside channel, so Dalot was going with him, Euro was, like you said, going in with João Pedro, and that left Bruno between Veltman and with a big space between Veltman and the other centre back. He's like, what do I do? And they just kept getting out that side every time. We have no left hand side as well, by the way.
Nothing.
Like, it's give the ball to Ahmad and pray. Like, that's it.
Yeah, and the left side was equally bad when Estepinian kept inverting as well.
Yeah.
Like, Ahmad was caught too high sometimes, and Estepinian could just come from behind him.
But Ahmad had to keep busting guts to do recovery runs.
Yeah, and the problem is, because when you play a five, if the opposition pin your wing backs back by keeping their wingers really high, you basically, 5 players are just taking out the game. And what they were doing as well was they had their sort of strikers, Pedro and Welbeck, when he was through the middle, they just kept dropping in. So basically it's 4v2 in midfield, and so Mainoo and Ugarte just taking out the game. It's such a difficult job, and I think these sort of details are the things that when you haven't had training time to work on and really drill the system, it's so hard to get right. And every team knows that all they've got to do is put extra bodies in midfield and we'll struggle. So it's a really tough situation to be in, and they are trying. They're just not good. They just aren't good enough. Yeah, aren't good enough. Can't think of things quickly enough, and it's frustrating. I think in terms of the way we play with the ball as well, I want to see Bruno and Mainoo switch. For me, Mainoo needs to go and play as that left 10.
A lot of people keep saying that. I'm just not. The only reservation I have.
Yeah.
There's a lot of running involved in that. I like
as the left 10.
Yeah. Right. I mean, well, to be fair, Bruno was dropping deep a lot of the time. To be fair.
Yeah.
But I think ideally Amorim would like it to be someone dynamic who can get out. And I'm not sure.
In terms of running in behind, or
no. When we don't have the ball, there's a lot of having to go from inside to out to go and cover wide areas and big spaces.
Yeah.
I just got this vision, and maybe it's just because I don't know, overthinking. I've got a vision of Kobe just being hung out there with wing backs running past him, wingers bombing on, just too big a distance. I would like to think he's got more protection in there, but he's getting exposed in there too.
I fully get that. You're right, of course, in the out of possession stuff, but I think the counter for that is you get your rest in possession because you're in the pockets all the time. You're not having to constantly sprint and run around all over the place.
Interesting to see. He hasn't done it once, has he? He doesn't see Kobe as that.
I think at the moment in midfield it's actually going the other way, where in possession he's having to run loads and out of possession he's having to run loads.
And he's getting marked loads, so he can't do anything.
But also the midfield balance isn't right. No. Ugarte, duel-wise, he gets it wrong all the time. He's always caught wrong side, constantly dives into stuff, and some games it goes well, other games it'll go horribly badly. That's just the type of player he is, and I don't think that's right for us long term. No. But also his partner, you need somebody that's going to dictate the tempo, going to get on the ball, demand it all the time, and Kobe isn't that. What Kobe's brilliant at is getting the ball between the lines. He's unbelievably agile, brilliant ball control, skill moves, taking it around a player, beating a man, sort of working a half yard for a shot, great technique, but at no point has he ever been the type of guy that gets on the ball and conducts the game.
Ball progressor.
He's not a passer, is he?
No.
If you put him higher up, he can do what he's brilliant at doing and bring other players into play, get shots off. A lot of the goals he scored, like the Liverpool one in the league, I think, was
into the box.
Yeah, stuck it like the finesse shot, sort of top corner. The Wolves one was similar. It's from that area, from like where the left 10 should be playing. That's where Kobe Mainoo needs to play. And if you put Bruno deeper, he then can hopefully spend more time facing forwards, able to pick out some decisive passes. It's not the perfect solution long term, but I think it works better for what the team's got at the moment, to be honest.
Any hope against Rangers, Fulham away? He's just more of this. Don't know.
Honestly, I think the reality is we need training time. You've seen the two performances we've had after a whole week of training.
Yeah.
It's not just training, but also we know these players have got a fitness problem, so having a week of rest helps as well, or a week without a game helps. It's a team that are still adapting to a system that they're not that well suited for, and the reality is if we don't train it, every team will be able to find some sort of simple tweak to their existing play style to just make it easy for them against us, so it's going to be tough.